Khloe Kardashian hasn't gotten her back blown by anyone in over 3 years, and she's never felt better. In a world where people are constantly told they're incomplete without a partner, Khloe's decision to stay single is flipping the entire narrative. But what really led her here? And why is her story resonating with so many people, especially women around the world? This isn't just celebrity gossip. This is a case study in healing, boundaries, and reclaiming your peace after public heartbreak. Let's unpack the journey that brought Khloe Kardashian to a place where she proudly says she might be single for the next 10 years and loving every second of it. Khloe Kardashian's love life has been a public spectacle for over a decade. From whirlwind romances to deeply personal betrayals, she's been through it all, on camera. Millions have watched her fall in love, get hurt, try again, and then get hurt all over again. But the relationship that pushed her to draw a firm line? Tristan Thompson. The chemistry was real, the public image was solid, and the couple even welcomed their first child, True, in 2018. It looked like a second-chance story. Then, in 2021, they decided to grow their family again via surrogate, and their son Tatum was born. But just when it seemed like they were rebuilding something real, the rug was ripped out. Tristan had fathered another child with a woman he was secretly involved with, while Khloe was preparing to bring their second baby into the world. And that wasn't just another headline. That was the final straw. For most people, this level of betrayal would lead to chaos. Emotional spiral, rebound dating, maybe a few passive-aggressive Instagram stories. But Khloe? She went a different route. She hit pause. Not just on Tristan, on everyone. In her own words, she's been single by choice for nearly 5 years, and she's not even tempted to change that. During a recent podcast appearance, she made it crystal clear, this isn't some tragic dry spell, this is a spiritual cleanse. I'm really happy. I don't feel lonely. I don't feel any of that stuff, she told Call Her Daddy host Alex Cooper. She even admitted, half joking but fully serious, it's concerning how good I feel. I could go on like this for another 10 years. And for the first time in a long time, the internet actually agreed with a Kardashian. Because what she's talking about isn't rare, it's just rarely talked about. There's a generation of women quietly waking up from the lie that love is the prize. That being chosen by a man validates your worth. That single equals sad. But here's what people don't realize until they stop chasing external validation. Sometimes, the real healing starts in solitude. And Khloe didn't just say, I'm fine being single, she went deeper. She admitted that she had to face some uncomfortable truths. Like why she kept choosing men who didn't value her. Why she ignored red flags. Why her definition of love came with so much pain. That's where the transformation happened. She stopped trying to fix men who didn't want to be fixed. She stopped believing she could change them with loyalty. She stopped giving them chances they didn't earn. Instead of focusing on finding love, she started focusing on becoming love. For herself. For her kids. Because that's the thing. Khloe's not anti-relationship. She even said she'd love to get married again one day. But here's the shift. She's not making that dream her mission. She's not willing to trade her peace for partnership. Not anymore. Especially now that she's a mom of 2, her priorities have completely changed. She said unless a man shows up with God-tier energy, he's not even making it past her front door. And can you blame her? How many times have we seen people rush into love just to fill a void? How often do we mistake chemistry for compatibility? Khloe's message is clear. If someone wants to be in her life, they need to match the energy she's built alone, not drag her backward. There's also something deeper at play here, something society still struggles to understand. Women aren't conditioned to be alone. From childhood, they're taught that love is the goal, that their worth is tied to being a good partner, a good wife, a good mother. Even now, in 2025, the idea of a woman choosing to be single long-term still makes people uncomfortable. But Khloe's honesty is giving voice to something powerful, that a woman's peace is not negotiable, that solitude isn't a punishment, it's a sanctuary. And if someone's going to enter that sanctuary, they better come correct. What makes Khloe's story even more relatable is that she's not pretending to have all the answers. She admits that healing is messy, that sometimes you do feel the urge to call that ex, that sometimes loneliness creeps in like a shadow. But here's the difference. She doesn't act on it. She doesn't confuse a bad day with a green light to go back to what broke her. She sits with the discomfort, she faces it, and then she moves forward. That level of emotional discipline? That's what real self-love looks like. Because anyone can post quotes about healing. Anyone can say, "I'm focusing on me." But it takes actual work to unlearn the patterns that got you hurt in the first place. It takes strength to choose peace over passion, to walk away from drama even when it feels exciting, to stop chasing people who only ever meet you halfway. And Khloe's doing it, in front of millions. No flashy revenge body story, no new man on her arm to prove a point. Just Khloe, living, healing, thriving. It's a quiet kind of power, the kind that doesn't need approval, the kind that doesn't beg to be seen, the kind that isn't afraid to say, "I'm enough, as I am." And here's the thing, this isn't just about Khloe. This is about every woman who's ever been told she needs a man to feel whole, every woman who's stayed in a relationship out of fear, every woman who's finally choosing herself, even when the world tells her not to. So, whether you love the Kardashians or can't stand them, you have to admit, this version of Khloe? She's teaching a masterclass in healing, not by talking about it, but by living it. The kind of love she's cultivating, that's not something you find in someone else. That's something you build within. And when you've got that kind of foundation, anything or anyone that tries to disturb it better be ready to rise to the occasion. Because Khloe is not looking for someone to complete her. She's already whole,